Hello, my name is Grisso, and this is my story. Today I turned 30, and I'm here at the Tennessee River, thinking about my life to this point. The river behind me reminds me of the struggles that pass through our life, and a lot of times we try to hide. And we put a smile on when perhaps we have a job or friends or our Facebook or whatever means that we have one side of us put out there for the public image, but then underneath we're struggling to realize that, can we even make it? We're asking ourselves. That's a serious situation to be in. When I was about 25 years old, I hit one of the darkest times in my life. I thought I should be a lot farther along than I was. I compared myself to others, and it just felt like I could only go down from there. I wasn't growing, no potential. I'd just keep failing people, whatever. I realized I was coming to a breaking point because I was starting to get careless with my life. And I'm speaking out because if anyone else finds themselves in that same situation, I want you to know you're not alone and that you can do something about it. There are many resources as well. When I came to that point of breaking, I realized that something had to give, and I decided to turn it positive and actually share my story. So I wrote it out, and I realized there had been a progression that took place in my life. Went all the way back to my childhood, to insecurities I had faced through some negative experiences as a child. I don't blame everything on my past, but I definitely saw some insecurities that were encouraged at that time. That turned into anxiety as a teenager, which then led to loneliness and doubts about my life and who I was, and then rejection, and then finally those feelings of worthlessness that led to depression and ultimately suicidal ideation. I began to write my story, and I called it Trapped in My Own Mind because that is the exact way that I described how I felt. That's actually what gave me the title to the story, was the exact feelings of feeling trapped that I couldn't tell anybody because nobody would understand. They would call me crazy and put me in a mental institution. And so I kept it to myself, even with counselors and supportive family and friends and church and school and everything else around me. I wasn't willing to speak out. And so I was struggling. It's not an easy thing to share your story. It's not an easy thing to speak out like I'm doing right now. However, it's worth it if one other person realizes they're not alone and that there's help.